Mick Mulvaney. Sir, very good to have you. Thank you for joining us.
Neil, thanks as always for having me on the show.
You know, I was thinking when you were coming here, I remember your whole nomination process, and I remember Nancy Pelosi at the time saying of you, sir, he has been willing to hold our full faith and credit of the United States of America hostage to his radical agenda. He is totally unsuited to be director of OMB. You think those words came back to haunt her?
Well, let's just say that I'm looking forward to, going through Mrs. Pelosi's nomination process for whatever OMB position she might want in the future. I don't know. I mean, look, I voted against a funding bill. She voted against a funding bill. It's silly that it actually came up in the confirmation, but that's fine. We're glad that the government is open today. We still have really very little idea what the Democrats were trying to do when they tried to shut the government down on Friday. I think everybody sort of admits now that they did. If you looked at the way that the Democrats voted yesterday, I think 30 of them voted for the same bill essentially they voted against on Friday. So there's a great deal of dissent inside that Senate Democratic Caucus. I don't know why they shut it down on Friday. They did, but it's open now. We get a chance to start talking about other issues, including immigration.
Do you think cooler heads step back, whether you want to say that it was the Democrats who blinked this time or back in 2013, maybe Republicans who blinked, that using the threat of a government shutdown, it's just not worth it?
Well, what I think it says is that there was a great deal of dissent within that Democrat caucus. In fact, I'm reading articles today about continued fissures within that group, that they're under a great deal of pressure from their left wing. Again, there's another sort of analogy with what happened in 2013. Republicans were criticized for coming under pressure from the Tea Party right. And I think what you're seeing now is the same sort of, or at least a similar dynamic within the Democrat Party. It's the Elizabeth Warren, Bernie Sanders, Kamala Harris wing of the party putting pressure on the Democrats not to do anything with the president. It got resolved this weekend. How it impacts the Democrats in the Senate going forward remains to be seen.
We're a few weeks away from being tested again on pretty much the exact same issue. What do you think?
It's actually probably a little bit tighter than that. Keep in mind, everyone talks about the fact there's 18 days. I think the House will be here for 6.5 or 7 of those. One of those is set aside for the State of the Union next week. So it's going to be a very, very tight schedule. That's why when it was originally floated about maybe doing a 5 or 6 or 7 day extension, you and I talked about how that was simply meaningless because nothing could get done in that amount of time. So it's going to be a tight time frame. There's no question.
Do we have to revisit, though, how this stuff is done? I know when you were in Congress, of course, your concern was everything they do late. And that when you do things late, if you're like a lot of folks in college or whatever, you're scrambling to get a term paper done or study for an exam, the results end up showing that it can be, a tentative, half-assed approach. But we always do this. We always are late. Why is that?
Yeah, I've never tired of the analogy between my teenage triplets and Congress. It's sort of the same type of mentality on a lot of things. But really what you're seeing here, what this is exposing, is the fact that the appropriations, the spending process is broken. I know that's boring to folks, but it really is what's driving all of this, and why we go from precipice to precipice is that the Senate cannot pass an appropriations bill, a single bill. They're supposed to pass 12 every single year. And if they don't want to change the 60-vote rule, which is what's defining a lot of that, at least they could make the senators talk a filibuster. Right now, they don't even have to work to filibuster a bill. It's not like it used to be years ago when we saw Mr. Smith goes to Washington. It's too easy to make a filibuster in the Senate. For that reason, spending bills never pass. And for that reason, you go from shutdown crisis to shutdown crisis. The system is broken in the Senate. They need to fix it. They're their rules. Only they can fix that.
All right. Yeah, the president has indicated as much, sir, by saying that, you get rid of that filibuster thing, a simple majority. Others, like Mitch McConnell, seem to be intimating not so fast. If Democrats were to take over, you would rue that day. What do you think?
That is, and I don't want to interrupt, but that's why that making them talk is sort of a happy medium. If they won't change it to 50 votes, and that's fine. Senator McConnell has said that again and again and again, and you have to understand that he probably knows his body fairly well, but there's no excuse for not making senators work and talk a filibuster. Senator Murphy did it a couple years ago regarding gun control because it was important to him. Senator Rand Paul did it a couple years ago over how we treat citizens overseas because it was important to him. You shouldn't be able to filibuster and then go to a fundraiser, or filibuster and go watch a football game. If you're going to filibuster, you should be on the floor working. It's a very powerful tool. It's being abused, and those rules need to change.
Ted Cruz did both.
Exactly, and that's the right way to do it.
But he shut down a government with no chance over the Affordable Care Act that a sitting Democratic president would ever allow it. So it was a waste of time.
I've been on both sides of a shutdown argument. I can tell you being on the winning side of a shutdown is a lot more satisfying.
Where are we right now on the next big wave? The president is going to go off to Davos. He apparently is sort of gearing up for infrastructure, that sort of thing, where there could be potentially bipartisan support. But are you worried after this whole dust-up that there isn't going to be much bipartisan support?
Yes and no. I mean, it's easy, I think, to say that with Senator Schumer, we now call him Shutdown Schumer, talking about negotiating with the president being like negotiating Jell-O, that tends to chill future negotiations. But the fact of the matter is that this is a transactional sort of town, and while folks could have gone head-to-head on the last bill, there's a chance they can sit down and work together on the next one. DACA is something the president wants to work on. Immigration is something he is committed to fixing. We think we can get bipartisan support for really good, comprehensive immigration reform, not just DACA, but also border security, the other things that you mentioned in the lead into the show. And beyond that, we think there's bipartisan support for infrastructure as well. So as rough as things have been in the last couple of weeks, I think the president is committed to continuing to negotiate on these couple of big items, and I hope you'll see progress very shortly.
What about the mood in the House behind you, sir? I mean, we're learning now that Attorney General Jeff Sessions was questioned for several hours by former FBI Director Mueller, a part of this ongoing Russia probe, and that some have likened it to a siege mentality or paranoia building up there. How would you describe it?
Yeah, I read the same articles. I saw there was a reference in a Vanity Fair article. I don't know who talks to Vanity Fair around here, but somebody is, and saying that the chief is on the outs. And all I can tell you is every time I read those stories, I look around and say, are these folks actually talking to people who work here? There is no siege mentality. There is no sort of disruption in the system. The chief's running a great shop. We just managed a really good shutdown to the effect you can manage a shutdown properly. That's not saying we wanted it. I think everybody knows the president didn't want it. I didn't want it. But we managed it extraordinarily well. The monuments were open. More of the government was open in 2016 than it was in 2013. We were ready to manage a long-term shutdown if need be. The government was functioning properly as run by the Trump administration. That's not, you don't get that if there's a bunch of discord within the building behind me. Things are hitting on all 8 cylinders here. We're very pleased with where things are. We had a great year in 2017. Continued to believe there was some political motivation to the shutdown this weekend to deprive the president the chance to sort of do that one-year anniversary victory lap. But there is no disunion here. We're all pointing in the same direction. We've had a good year behind us. Looking forward to a good 2018 as well.